The Pentagon is lying about how many Americans died in Iran. The United States government says 15 American soldiers were killed in the Iran war. 15. That is the number they want you to remember. But here is what the math actually says. When the ceasefire between the United States and Iran took effect in April 2026, the Pentagon's own internal tally listed 385 Americans dead or wounded. During the ceasefire, that number climbed to 428. Then, without any press conference, without any explanation, without a single public statement, the Pentagon subtracted 15 names from the list. The total dropped to 413. Numbers do not go down in a war unless someone is removing them on purpose. The Intercept, one of America's most respected investigative outlets, published a bombshell analysis. Their conclusion: nearly 750 United States troops have been killed or wounded in the Middle East since this war began. Not 15 dead, not 300 wounded, 750 casualties, and the Pentagon will not confirm it. A defense official speaking to The Intercept used 4 words to describe what is happening inside United States Central Command. 4 words: casualty cover-up. Those were not the words of an Iranian state channel. Those were the words of a United States defense official. Now ask yourself, why would the most powerful military on earth hide its own losses? History has the answer. In Vietnam, the Pentagon Papers revealed that the Johnson administration deliberately misled Congress and the American public about battlefield reality, downplaying casualties, inflating enemy kill counts, and presenting a false picture of progress while American soldiers were dying by the thousands. The moment the truth leaked, the anti-war movement exploded. Public support collapsed. The war ended in humiliation. Washington has not forgotten that lesson. Analysts covering the Iran war have stated it plainly. Large casualty numbers would produce an immediate revolt against the war among the American public and could fracture the Republican Party itself on the question of whether to continue fighting. That is why the numbers shrink instead of grow. That is why a soldier named Major Sawfley Davies, a signals officer from the New York Army National Guard, deployed to Kuwait in direct support of Operation Epic Fury, died in service on March 6, 2026. His own congressman honored him at a memorial service. The Pentagon's official casualty database does not list his name. They are not just hiding numbers. They are hiding people. And here is why the Pentagon is so desperate to hide those numbers. Because the numbers are only half the story. The other half is this. American military bases across the Middle East have been so severely damaged by Iranian strikes that soldiers refuse to go back. Not relocated, not reassigned, refused. According to a New York Times report citing United States military officials directly, 13 American bases in the Middle East were left nearly uninhabitable. Iran's missiles did not just damage buildings. They destroyed radar systems, communications nodes, command centers, and troop housing, sometimes hitting the same base multiple times. So where did the soldiers go? Hotels, office buildings, temporary locations. 40,000 American troops were deployed in the Middle East at the start of this war. Thousands of them are now running war operations remotely, from hotel rooms in Gulf cities, because their military bases were too dangerous to return to. The United States even moved some forces all the way back to Europe. A CNN investigation confirmed the scale of it. At least 16 American military installations across 8 countries were struck. The majority of the United States military footprint in the entire Middle East. Damaged. A United States source told CNN, and I am quoting directly, "I have never seen anything like this before. These are rapid targeted strikes with advanced technology." And then there is the aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest warship, 5,000 sailors, 75 aircraft, the flagship of American naval power, deployed to the Red Sea to project dominance. A fire broke out. The Pentagon called it a laundry accident, not combat-related, nothing to see here. Here is what they did not say. Nearly 200 sailors were treated for smoke injuries. 600 sailors lost their sleeping quarters. The fire took hours to control, and the United States Navy's own top admiral later admitted the Ford could not fly a single combat sortie for 2 full days. The flagship of the United States Navy, grounded during an active war. The Ford was then quietly pulled out of the war zone entirely, sent to Crete for repairs mid-campaign. The world's largest aircraft carrier, built at $13 billion, limping out of a battle it was supposedly winning. In the first 2 weeks of this war alone, damage to American bases cost $800 million. The total war bill has reached $25 billion, and that number does not even include base repair costs. Now add it all together. 13 bases destroyed, thousands of troops in hotels, the world's largest aircraft carrier forced out of the war zone, 200 sailors injured on a ship Washington called fully operational, a soldier named Major Davies erased from the official count, and a defense official using the words casualty cover-up to describe his own government. And the official death count is 15. This is the playbook. 15 is a number the public can absorb. 750 is a number that starts a protest movement. 750 is a number that ends political careers. 750 is a number that forces a president to answer questions he does not want to answer. So the official count stays at 15. And somewhere in a house in America tonight, a family that buried their son or daughter is watching the news, hearing their government say that number, and knowing that their child is not even being counted. The story they are telling you and the war that is actually happening are 2 completely different wars. The most powerful military on earth went to an illegal war, lost soldiers, destroyed no nuclear program, and is now hiding the body count from its own people. Call it what it is. Share this before it gets buried. Drop your thoughts in the comment section.